J.D. Vance, called China our biggest threat. So what is the view in Beijing as they see what is sure to be the next administration? Offering insight into this is the one and only Gordon Chang. Gordon, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you so much, Chanel.
What did you think about Trump's speech last night and this posturing that he has taken that Taiwan needs to also chip in?
Well, first of all, I think that the Chinese absolutely abhor what President Trump has been saying on tariffs, because this actually poses an existential threat to Xi Jinping and the existence of the Communist Party, because Xi Jinping has turned his back on unanimous advice that he empower consumers. So his only way out is to export China. And that means he needs to sell a lot of stuff to major markets, including ours. And across the board tariffs that President Trump has been talking about will basically shut out to the Chinese products from our market. That is a critical threat. So that they certainly hate. But on Taiwan, I'm sure that what President Trump said was music to their ears. And one of the things that's important here is that Trump didn't say we wouldn't defend Taiwan, but he did say they should pay more for their defense. And yes, that's true.
Right.
But we got to remember that Taiwan doesn't pay more for its defense because we've discouraged them from paying more for their defense. We don't sell them weapons, and when we do, we slow walk deliveries.
Well, is this perhaps a negotiating tactic out of Trump, where he's trying to get Taiwan to either pay up or return the chips industry back to the United States? Like, is this a way for him to perhaps negotiate with them like he has with NATO?
Yes, well, I think this probably is a negotiating tactic, but the problem is that it certainly has disheartened American friends around the world. And certainly it's rattled Taiwan, and it's made the people in China, I'm sure, very happy. So this has destabilized things in the interim. You know, there's a long time between now and the time President Trump would take office if he wins. So we're talking about a period where Beijing might actually decide it's a good time to do something. And so at this point, I don't know if his Taiwan comments were helpful. And by the way, Taiwan didn't steal our chip business. American companies deliberately outsourced our business. And when they did that, people in Taiwan said, well, we're going to build a chip industry. And so it's clear what happened here.
So you think he should reverse that position regarding Taiwan?
I think that he's already said what he said. And so I think that essentially he should make it clear that he's willing to sell weapons to Taiwan. If he does that, then I think that he repairs some of the damage that has occurred between the time he made his remarks to Bloomberg and now. And I think that essentially you're right. This is negotiating tactics, but let's negotiate in a way that preserves stability before we get to talks with Taiwan about buying and selling weapons.
What do you think happens in a Trump administration between Russia and China? I know that J.D. Vance, the vice presidential nominee, has labeled China as a bigger threat over Russia in the grand scheme of things. But how does this actually affect the relationship between China and Russia with a Trump administration incoming?
That's a great question, and we just don't know how that will all play out. I think that essentially we saw China and Russia get much closer together when Biden was in the Oval Office. And I think Trump probably will do a number of things to disrupt that. So we're going to see how all of this plays out. But, you know, we got to remember that we've got to confront China where China's confronting us. And China believes that the main area of confrontation between China and the United States is not in East Asia, but is on the battlefield on Ukrainian soil. So I understand comments that the vice president nominee has made, but clearly I think what we need to do is to realize what China is doing and make sure that we have an effective defense against it.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.